Hello everyone, Dan Saavedra here from MergeYourData, and today I'm going to be talking about why lifecycle stages and lead statuses should be 100% automated inside of your HubSpot account. There's no excuse for this. We need to take responsibilities, manual responsibilities off the plates of the people who are selling. It adds additional work to their plate that they just don't need. It doesn't contribute in any way, shape, or form to the results that they produce. And so therefore we need to automate it away because it doesn't contribute in any way. And so with lifecycle stages and lead statuses and deals, everything should primarily be moving in an automated fashion 90+% of the time, if not 100% of the time. And if you haven't seen me talk about this diagram, then I'll do this quickly right now. Otherwise, you can skip ahead in the video. But with lifecycle stages in HubSpot, they're designed to only move forward. I don't care what you've seen on LinkedIn, what other people have said. The system is designed to have lifecycle stages only move forward. If someone has gotten to the opportunity or customer lifecycle stage, then that means that the engagement that you had with them is different. The relationship that you had with them is different. And therefore, your system should reflect that. If you want to cyclically represent where they are at in a customer journey, then you can use the lead status property and other status properties to do that. But lifecycle stage is not something that should be reset or moved backwards. I can guarantee you, because people hire us all the time to fix this stuff, if you do move things backwards and build that into your processes and systems, you're going to have pain in 6 months or more. It might not show up right away, but eventually you're going to be having trouble getting basic analytics correct just because you're resetting lifecycle stages or moving it backwards. So get off my pedestal for that one. Basically what happens is when you move someone through a lifecycle stage, the lead status can be rotating, and you can see how we have these lead score and lead statuses on different lifecycle stages. And so as people move through, they might cycle back to earlier lead statuses. They might become a customer at one point, and then they become an opportunity again. You can use the leads object in HubSpot if you want, or you can just use a lead status. There's pros and cons to each one, but you can use these to indicate the current state. And then the lifecycle stages as far along in the journey as someone has gotten. And the analogy I like to use for this is that if you met someone and you were friends with them for 3 or 4 years, and then you didn't see them for 10 years, and then you saw each other again, you walked up to them, you said, "Hey, how's it going?" And they looked at you and said, "Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Dan," and pretended like they never, ever had contact with you before, you would be offended. You would feel so small. And that's what's happening if you are moving life cycle stages backwards. Imagine talking to a customer who was a customer in the past, but it's been 3 or 4 years, and a new rep reaches out and treats them like a brand new prospect. That is exactly what's happening here. It's like an old friend that you saw out and you just pretend you don't know them anymore. It's a terrible customer experience, not how it should happen. I see it happen when you do rotate these life cycle stages back to earlier steps. Just don't do it. Deals fall within this timeline as well. Oftentimes people will create deals when an SQL is created or contact is moved to SQL, and then that deal pipeline will move through to the customer lifecycle stage. And this is how everything interacts together, right? You can throw in a customer status if you want to know if they're active or churned. You can do a lead score to move people from subscriber to lead to MQL. You can customize all these. There's ways you can go about it. But in general, with all of these interacting together, it should all be automated. You have standard properties inside of HubSpot that indicate what is going on with a contact and a company to where you can start moving people automatically. If they have contact information in there, you have emails logged, you have a last contacted date, that's all captured inside of HubSpot. You can move their lead status to in progress, right? If they have a click on a sales or marketing email, if they have a reply on a sales or marketing email, you can start moving their lead status to engaged or respond or whatever your definitions are. And basically, you can go each step, each life cycle stage, and each lead status and reverse engineer from the existing default properties in HubSpot where they are at without a rep having to move them. And so that's what we do for our clients. We make sure that we are automating 90+% of this movement across life cycle stages, across lead statuses, deal pipeline, and everything else. If someone wants to manually update something, they can, right? If you build things correctly, they'll be able to update a lead status or a lifecycle stage or a deal stage, and it'll work fine. It'll still progress things in the correct manner. It'll capture the correct dates in the system, and everything else falls in place. I went off here. I talked fast. Overall, if you are not automating your lifecycle stages, your lead statuses, and your deal stages, you have data quality issues, guaranteed. And you're hurting your performance for growing revenue in the long term because you can't depend on the analysis that you're doing, the reports you're building. You can't accurately identify the real opportunities that exist in your system. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you can get the wheels turning here. Think about how you can automate all the life cycle stages and lead statuses and deal stages inside of your own account. It all starts with the definitions of all of these parts, all of these properties, lifecycle stage, deal stages, lead statuses. How are these actually understood inside your organization? You have to understand that and align on that before even building out any of this. If this is something that you all are struggling with at the moment, reach out to our team. There's a link to book a call in the video description below. We can talk about all of these definitions, we can align them, and then we can automate them in a way where your team isn't having to do the manual work, your data is better, and then you're able to build on that and grow revenue faster and identify opportunities. I'm Dan Saavedra from MergerData. Thanks for watching.